everyone, and welcome to tonight's Sleepy ASMR video. In this video, we are going to read some bedtime stories. I have got three stories to read you. All by wonderful authors and fantastic illustrators. So I invite you to get comfortable in your bed, perhaps with some headphones. Close your eyes and just listen to the stories, and hopefully by the end you will be in a wonderful deep sleep, or at the very least very relaxed. Okay. For our first story, we have Time for Bed Spot by Eric Hill. Time for Bed Spot. It was getting quite late. Spot had finished his supper, and now he was busy playing with his train, his blocks, and his ball. Sally looked in. Time for bed, Spot, she said. But Mum, said Spot, I'm not sleepy. You can tidy up your toys, said Sally. That will help you to feel sleepy. All right, Mum, said Spot. He put away his train, his blocks, and his ball. I'm still not sleepy, said Spot. A nice warm bath will help, Sam, said Sam, Spot's dad. He filled the bath with lovely warm bubbles for Spot. Spot stayed in the bath for a long time, playing with his boat and his duck. But when it came time to come out, Spot still wasn't sleepy. Not even when Sam wrapped him in a big, fluffy towel. I'll read you a story, said Sally. That will send you off to sleep. Sally read Spot his favourite story. It was all about pirates, their adventures on the high seas. Read it again, please, said Spot when she had finished. So Sally read the story again. "Thanks, Mum," said Spot. "Maybe I can go to sleep now." "Just close your eyes and you'll soon drift into dreamland," said Sally. Spot closed his eyes and Sally kissed him goodnight. Then she tiptoed out of the room. But Spot still wasn't sleeping. "I can't stay in bed when I'm not sleepy," he said to himself. "I'll get up and pretend to be a pirate like the ones in my storybook." Spot went to his dressing up cupboard. He got out an eye patch, a bandana, and a wooden spoon. "Yo ho ho," he said, jumping up and down. "I'm the Pirate King of the high seas." After a while, Spot got tired of being a pirate, but he still wasn't sleepy. "I'll pretend to be something else now," he said, looking in his dressing up cupboard. What will I be?" "I'll be a cowboy," Spot decided. He put on his cowboy hat and found his horse. Spot rode his horse all around the room. Stomp, stomp, stomp. "I'm a buckaroo," he shouted. "This is so much fun. It's a good thing I'm not sleeping." Sally came to the door. "You're supposed to be asleep," she called. "What's all the noise about?" But Spot didn't answer. That's because Spot didn't hear her. He was curled up in his dressing up clothes, fast asleep. Sally picked up Spot and tucked him into bed. "I think I was sleepy after all," he murmured. "I think you were too," said Sally, smiling. She gave Spot a hug and then another goodnight kiss. "Sweet dreams, Spot. Sleep tight." Okay. Now this one. My children have read since my eldest was a baby. And it is Kiss Goodnight Sam by Heast and Trim. So it's by Amy Heast and illustrated by Anita Jerome. Jerome? I'm not sure how to pronounce it. As you can see, it is a very well loved book. It was a dark and stormy night on Plum Street. In the little white house, Mrs. Bear was putting Sam to bed. "Ready now, Sam?" "Oh no," said Sam. "I'm waiting." Mrs. Bear sat on the bed beside Sam and they read his favourite book, and they both knew all the words. Afterwards, Mrs. Bear pulled one side of the blanket way up high under Sam's chin. The blanket was red. She pulled the other side too, tucking it under his toes like a nest. Outside the wind blew. Woo, woo. Ready now, Sam? Oh no, said Sam. I'm waiting. Mrs. Bear arranged Sam's friends in the bed, and they all snuggled in close in the blanket that was red. Outside the rain came down, splat on the roof, splat, splat on the windows. The wind blew. Whoo, whoo. Ready now, Sam? Oh no, said Sam. I'm waiting. Mrs. Bear poured milk into 2 glasses, and they both drank the milk, and it was warm sliding down. Afterwards, Mrs. Bear yawned. You must be ready now, she said. But Sam shook his head. I'm waiting, he said. Said Mrs. Bear. Let me think. We've read a book and made a nest, arranged your friends and had warm milk. Sam, she said, what did I forget? You know, said Sam. Said Mrs. Bear. Book, blanket, friends, milk. Book, blanket, friends, milk. Sam waited. He waited and waited. And then at last Mrs. Bear said, Oh, I know. A kiss goodnight, Sam. And she bent way down, kissing Sam once and twice and then twice more. Again, cried Sam. And she bent way down, kissing Sam once and twice and then twice more. Outside, the wind blew and the rain came down. And in the little white house, Mrs. Bear was taking out the light and whispering, Kiss goodnight, Sam. Kiss goodnight, Sam. And Sam went to sleep on a dark and stormy night on Plum Street. This one is definitely a family favorite. Okay. Time for our last story. The things I love about bedtime. The Things I Love About Bedtime by Tracy Moroney. Tracy Moroney does a wonderful collection of books. Many of them are The Things I Love About, and she has The Things I Love About Family, Friends, Grandparents, Me, Pets, Playtime, and School. She does another series that is all about children understanding their emotions, and all of her books are extremely well written. I love bedtime, and these are the things I love the most. I have a bath and brush my teeth and put on my favourite pyjamas. Mum pretends that she's a huggle monster and chases me into bed and gives me a great big hug. I snuggle into bed with my teddy bunny and Dad reads me a story. Then we talk about the best moments of my day, like building a tree hut together or drawing a really good picture for Mum, or playing fun games with my friends. Remembering the best moments makes me feel good about being me. And then my dad always says, of all the millions and squillions of little bunnies around the world, how did I get so lucky to have the best one? Good night, my little snuggle bunny. I love you. This makes me feel really special. I close my eyes and think of all the things I would like to dream about, like riding on a giant bumblebee right up to the moon and back, or sailing in a pirate ship on a sea of raspberry jam and goldfish. Or perhaps just in my own bed, feeling warm, safe and loved. I love bedtime. I hope that you are feeling wonderfully relaxed after that. And if you have enjoyed this wonderful short video, and you're still awake, perhaps let me know if you would